Hello and welcome to Verdictum. I'm Sheetal June and you're watching today's legal news where we update you with the latest legal developments across the country and world. Starting with the headlines. Supreme Court directs trial courts to mandatorily grant compensation to sexual assault victims. Eligibility criteria cannot be changed midway after recruitment process begins unless rules explicitly permit, Supreme Court. Supreme Court orders liquidation of Jet Airways on failure of resolution plan. Sexual harassment cases cannot be quashed on grounds of compromise, Supreme Court. Now the news in detail. The Supreme Court has directed all trial courts to mandatorily order victim compensation to women and minor children in cases of sexual assault and other such cases, which involve bodily injuries while passing judgment saying it is necessary to ensure that the victim is paid the compensation at the earliest. A bench comprising Justice B.V. Nagaratna and Justice Pankaj Mithal directed that the compensation shall be paid with regard to the facts and circumstances of the case and based on the evidence on record and regardless whether it's a conviction or acquittal. Secondly, the said direction must be implemented by the District Legal Services Authority or State Legal Services Authority as the case may be in letter and spirit in the quickest manner and to ensure that the victim is paid the compensation at the earliest, the court added. The court also granted liberty to hand out interim compensation depending on the peculiar facts of the case. The Supreme Court has ruled that eligibility criteria of government jobs cannot be changed midway once the recruitment process begins unless rules explicitly permits the same. The five-judge Constitution bench led by CJI D.Y. Chandrachud and comprising Justice Harishikesh Roy, Justice P.S. Narasimha, Justice Pankaj Mithal and Justice Manoj Mishra delivered the verdict today after reserving it in July 2023 on legal proposition as to whether the criteria for appointment to a public post could be altered by the authorities concerned in the middle or after the process of selection has started. The court said that the recruitment process begins with the issuance of advertisements calling for application and ends with the vacancy is filled. The court also added that even the rules for recruitment has to meet the standards of Articles 14 and 16 of the Constitution and the extant rules must satisfy the test of non-arbitrariness. The court sided with its ruling in K. Manjushri versus the state of Andhra Pradesh and another, stating that it's good law and cannot be held to be incorrect merely because it did not take into consideration the Supreme Court's 1973 ruling in state of Haryana versus Subhash Chandra Marwa and others. The Supreme Court in a major ruling has ordered the liquidation of Jet Airways and accordingly set aside the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal ruling that upheld the transfer of Jet Airways ownership to the Jalan Kalro Consortium (JKC) under an approved resolution plan. Allowing an appeal filed by State Bank of India and other creditors, the court observed that JKC failed to comply with the resolution as it failed to infuse Rs 150 crore, the first tranche of Rs 350 crore to clear the workers' dues and airport dues among the essential costs. The court also reprimanded the NCLAT for issuing a judgment in favor of JKC without fully examining the facts. JKC had staked its claim in the ownership of the airline, while the Committee of Creditors for the airline led by State Bank of India urged the Supreme Court to use its inherent powers under Article 142 to liquidate the company, contending that the revival plan was not in the best interest of the lenders. A sexual harassment case cannot be cancelled because the complainant and the accused have reached a compromise, the Supreme Court ruled today while setting aside a Rajasthan High Court order which had given relief to a teacher accused of sexually harassing his minor student and ordered his prosecution. In this case, a minor Dalit girl had accused a government school teacher for sexual harassment in a police complaint leading to filing of a case under the POCSO Act and SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act. The minor's statement was also recorded, however, the accused teacher got a statement from the girl's family on a stamped paper stating they registered a police complaint out of a misunderstanding and no longer wanted any action against the teacher. Police accepted the statement and filed a report, but a lower court rejected the statement. The accused then approached the High Court, which accepted it and ordered the FIR cancelled. That was all on today's legal news. Thank you and keep watching Verdictum. Subscribe to our channel and download the Verdictum app on iOS and Android devices for the latest legal updates.